We're going to take a look at the buy, sell, holds, and trades from tonight's Monday night game. Lions, Ravens. We're going to look at the box score, look at the numbers. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're going deep on the waiver wire tomorrow. We're doing it again on Wednesday. We're going to help you set your lineups by looking at all the matchups, looking at player rankings, doing player battles, and we're also going to deep dive all the trending players this week. It's going to be a hot week off the waiver wire. You need to stay tuned. Click that button. Stop missing out. Ric Flair's also watching. Do not disappoint Ric Flair. This game was fun. Started off fun. Started off hot. Look at the game script. If you didn't really watch and you're just here for my recap, look at that right up there, right up the gut. 7v7 first quarter, 7v7 second quarter, 7v7 third quarter. And we had a 53.5 over-under. 68 points scored in this game. When I look at those over-unders and they're massively high, the highest point totals of the week, I lean into those when it comes to my start-sit decisions. And if you leaned into this game, pretty much 90% of the players hit. Zay Flowers didn't hit, unless he got some sneaky production I wasn't aware of. But 90% of the players hit, more often than not. Sometimes the game scripts break in the wrong way and it becomes a low-scoring game. But usually, even if it hits the under, like say it scores 45, 46, 47 or something like that, it's still scoring a lot of points to where there's enough movement where you can get your players going. They're a little bit safer, more than likely, and you have more chances of hitting top-tier production. That's what you got in this matchup. This is why I leaned into it so much. I told you in the must-start video to start everybody from this game. Just to use it as your tiebreakers. Don't be scared of that. And football's going to football. And you'll have game scripts like this where you get 50-plus over-unders and they break in the wrong way. Football's going to football. But when the over-unders are that high, odds are you're going to get good movement in that game. Like, I'm not going to say it's going to be super high scoring, but good movement as in good back and forth play to get fantasy production, good yards. Jared Goff was fine, 202 yards, 1 touchdown in this contest, 6 rushing yards. But David Montgomery, 151 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns on the ground for Jahmyr Gibbs. He also caught a bunch of balls too, 67 yards. They were just racking it up on the ground. Just racking it up. He caught 5 balls for 32 yards. Gibbs and Monty killed it for you. And I said I was not worried about Monty. This is the type of game script I want to throw him in because I know he's going to get extra workload. I know they're going to be pushing it. He'll get red zone opportunities. And then J-Mo didn't really fire. That's one thing we can look at here. 2 catches, 43 yards, 7.3. That ain't good. Sam Laporta, like, you don't want that in your box score for fantasy. Tight end rankings-wise, he's not too far off this week. 7 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown goes off again. 8 targets. 26 targets in this game. That run game really buoyed this matchup. Really buoyed it. Derrick Henry, I'm seeing tweets that people are wondering if he's cooling down, if he's about to hit that last leg of his career, that he's starting to get washed. That's the word I was looking for. But that Detroit Lions run defense, when you looked at fantasy points per game allowed to running backs, they're middle of the road. They were pretty good last year as well. You might want to give him some grace. He did get you a touchdown. He got 50 yards. Last week was against the Browns. Look what they did to the Packers. Then look what they did to the Bengals. Like, people are still not giving the Browns credit. Like, give him a little bit of a chance. I know he fumbled, but give him a little opportunity. But you're looking at Lamar Jackson. 35 yards on the ground, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns. You're loving that. Rashad Bateman gets the score. He'll score a few more times this year, too. 5-ball Scott, 63 yards. And Justice Hill was getting some work in this matchup. This was a fun game. Zay Flowers, only 3 targets. Mark Andrews came back. Mark Andrews, a lot of people down on him. And a lot of people were down on him last year, but you look at the scoring chart, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. My mouth's dry, guys. My mouth's dry. I'm being honest here. It's late. It's almost midnight. My mouth's dry. chewed on my lips a little too much today. 6 targets, 6 balls caught, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's where the ball got funneled. That's where you got your fantasy points. I hope you started him, which I believe most of you would have, unless you're just blessed at tight end. But if you're that blessed at tight end, you may want to make some deals, because I like rolling with just one tight end and using my waiver wire as my tight end too. All in all, this was a fun game. You got good movement here. Couldn't ask for much more. Lean into the game scripts, and then if that player's getting a lot of workload, like if they're getting top-tier targets, like 6, 7, 8 targets a game, if not even more, then their auto starts in these kinds of matchups, and football's going to football. That's it. There's got to be a process behind your starting lineup decisions, or if you're asking for advice, you got to figure out that person's. There's got to be some sort of process. Like, they just can't be saying, well, I just like this guy better than that guy, or they can't give you the basic, like, shell numbers because you got that on your sleeper app. Like, oh, yeah, he's just been getting targets lately, start him. Like, I look at the matchups pretty hard. I try to guess, like, how the flow of the game's going to be. I look at the over-unders. I don't stick with that all the time. I look at how, like, it could run bad, it could run good. I talk in the range of outcomes. Sometimes I don't even give you a straight-up answer, and I just talk in circles, and you just resonate with what you resonate with that answer. I look at the matchups hard. I look at the workload. Workload as in routes, targets, and air yards. All 3 of those combined. Deep targets downfield matter for wide receivers. Like, if you're only getting 3 to 5 targets a game, but you're racking close to 100 air yards, like you're around that 80 air yards territory, there's a chance you bring in a deep ball, you could splash. So you got to understand the asset of these players too. Like, you're not going to stack up on cash and expect it to be like Bitcoin. So you're not going to get these rocket wide receivers that get those deep balls. They get 3 of them a game. They could get overshot, but you're expecting them to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, you ain't going to do that. J-Mo's like that. J-Mo's got the Will Fuller effect. You're not going to expect that. Rashad Bateman gets used in the Will Fuller effect. He really shouldn't be, but he does with this team. He'll have some upside moments this year, but that's something to pay attention to. When it comes to running backs, I just follow the touches, follow the opportunity, follow the recency bias when it comes to their efficiency. Follow the matchup. Is this team giving up yards? If they've been giving up yards, then this other team's going to notice that, so they're going to try and capitalize on it. Like, those are the processes. Like, process is going to process, and what we're really trying to do is narrow down the odds, and then in those odds, go with the guys, and whatever happens, happens. We're just trying to narrow it down. We start off every week with a big pool. We narrow it down with the game scripts. Narrow it down more with the workload. Then we look at the efficiency and what we like. That's how we get there. That is how we get there. That is the macro of the process, and it's more detailed than that once you dig into the numbers, as you all know. But again, if you're taking advice, you're watching videos, you're doing that, try and peg down their process. That is my process too. That is how I started out. Like 10, 15 years ago, instead of like looking for the picks, I looked for the process. I'm teaching now. Look for the process. The process is what's going to get you there. And it's going to be wrong sometimes because football is going to football. You can't be scared of that. You got to realize football is going to football, and you can't have a scarcity mindset with that. You're just going to have to do the work. Drop down the probabilities by doing the work. Mine is game script, workload, efficiency, and matchups. Once you do that, once you start getting that pegged down, you'll be able to nail your start sits a little bit better. You'll at least have more confidence on Sundays. You'll feel a little bit better in your gut with your Sunday morning breakfast or whatever you're doing, and you'll be good to go. And if something happens to me, then you're going to be good to go on your own. And if they're not teaching you how to fish any way, shape, or form, there's something wrong with that, because there's only a little bit you need to look at, and then on top of that, football's going to football. Football's going to football, guys. But I'm here to teach and help you guys out and talk some ball, and you guys are my friends. You guys are my friends out here. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video.